So we have a story here that's a mix of foreign policy and immigration policy. Trump's policies are ruffling some feathers, that's for sure. This is from the LA Times. Trump punishes Colombia for refusing entry to deportation flights. Facing another early challenge to his immigration policies, Trump on Sunday ordered a 25% tariff on exports from Colombia and a travel ban on Colombian officials and their supporters as punishment for the country's refusal to accept military deportation flights from the U.S. Quote, "These measures are just the beginning," Trump declared on social media. Colombia's action came as numerous countries in Latin America are attempting to figure out how to deal with the week-old Trump administration, pledging cooperation on some immigration issues, but also seeking fair treatment and respect for their own national sovereignty. Media reports in the U.S. quoted Pentagon officials as saying Mexico also denied landing permission to a deportation flight last week. Mexico did not explicitly confirm or deny the action, but its foreign ministry emphasized its spirit of continued cooperation with the U.S. president. Claudia Sheinbaum, that's the president of Mexico, said she would address the matter Monday. Nevertheless, tensions are high in Mexico, the country that is the largest source of U.S.-bound migrants and where tens of thousands are becoming stranded as Trump ends amnesty and other legal entry programs. Both Colombia and Mexico in the past accepted some deportation flights, but may be reacting now to Trump's threat to increase the number exponentially and include more third-country migrants. Some in the region are also unnerved by the switch from civilian aircraft to U.S. military planes used in the deportations. Well, I have to say, the Trump tariff thing, the 25% tariff he said, that is such typical Trump. It's like he just knows that, it's his like go-to punishment. That's it. You won't accept what we're giving you. You will get a 25% tariff. 25% tariff for not accepting the military flights back for deportations. He's hell-bent on it. It's crazy. Trump said he would raise the tariffs on all Colombian goods coming to the U.S. to 50% after 1 week if flights are not allowed. While Colombia is not high on the list of the region's traders with the U.S., exporting only about $16 billion in goods, coffee is among its top commodities. It also exports roses and other fresh-cut flowers used widely in the U.S. on holidays like Valentine's Day. Watch out, folks. If you're getting your lover something, Donald Trump might be jacking those prices up. He also said he was revoking U.S. visas from various members of the Colombian government, putting visa restrictions on tens of thousands of other Colombians, enhancing customs and border inspections on people and cargo from Colombia, and imposing a raft of unspecified financial and banking sanctions. Trump's wrath came in response to actions by Gustavo Petro, the left-leaning president of Colombia, who's dealing with his own immigration crisis, the arrival of massive numbers of people fleeing neighbor Venezuela. Quote, "I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia," Trump wrote. "We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its legal obligations with regard to the acceptance and return of the criminals they forced into the United States." With Trump's rise to power, Petro made a brief attempt at avoiding confrontation, but that seems to have vanished. Yeah, he's gonna stand up to Trump, apparently. Also writing on social media, Petro earlier Sunday did not rule out allowing the repatriation of Colombian nationals, but also said the process had to be dignified. So it's so funny that there are these foreign policy skirmishes happening in broad daylight over social media on Twitter/X. "The U.S. cannot treat Colombian migrants like criminals," Petro wrote. "I am denying the entry of United States airplanes with Colombian migrants to our territory. The U.S. must establish a protocol for the dignified treatment of migrants before we receive them." He later said he would offer his presidential plane to pick up Colombian deportees to avoid them being left stranded and stateless. He also said he would play a tit for tat with Trump, suggesting he would impose a 25% tariff on U.S. exports. The defiance from Latin America comes ahead of Secretary of State Marco Rubio's trip later this week to the region, his first as Trump's top diplomat. Neither Colombia nor Mexico are on his itinerary, although immigration will be on his agenda, especially in Panama, Guatemala, and El Salvador. Oh yeah, Marco Rubio was confirmed unanimously by the Senate, basically. I believe it was 99-0, not 100-0, but yeah. No votes against him, Democrats bending the knee to Marco Rubio, to Little Marco, as Trump formerly called him. So what do you think about this conflict? I mean, it has the potential for some pretty disastrous consequences. It's kind of entertaining watching Trump go after these people, but also kind of cringe at the same time. I don't know. It seems very like self-righteous and very much like he's really like trying to kind of pander to people who are obsessed with the idea of their leaders appearing tough. At the same time, I recognize that there are people who really like it. There are people on Twitter giving him major props, saying, "Oh yeah, he's got big balls. He's a tough guy. We have a tough man as president now." He's dropping the threats, kind of making fun of President Petro for wanting a dignified flight back for the deportees, and saying, "Dude, you don't get to choose that." And yeah, admiring Trump saying, "No, we're going to use military aircraft for this." Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video. This is The Morris the Merrier.